Hello, and welcome to Under 1000. My name's Thomas Flower, and each episode I'll read you a new piece of flash fiction. All of the stories are 1000 words or less. Today, I'll be reading Blessed. Bless that telephone call. I wouldn't usually want to receive one so early in the morning, but this was important. And through my groggy haze, I could recognize that immediate action would need to be taken. Dragging myself out of bed, I managed to pull some clothes on, making myself look somewhat presentable, chuck enough in a bag that I knew I'd be okay for a few days, and grab a few slices of bread on my way out of the door. It was a rough start to a morning, but I'd rather have that than still be sleeping during all of this. So I can only be thankful for that telephone call which started it all off. Bless the footpath which led me to the station. Though I was hurrying down it as fast as I could manage, I still couldn't help but notice how the sun's rays glimmered through the trees and dappled the way in front of me with beautiful orange circles, which swayed gently as I rushed on by. It is good to be reminded of beauty, even as you are experiencing fear, distress, and upset. And I felt grateful to whoever had built the footpath this way, rather than letting it be just another slab of tarmac between destinations. Bless Annie's Land Station. So quiet on that morning, so much quieter than I had ever seen it. I was able to stand and catch the breath I had just expended in my hurry to arrive. Somehow, despite it all, as my huffing and puffing subsided, I managed to feel a moment of peacefulness. It was strange to see this place so empty now, when I was used to it being crammed with fellow commuters during the weekday rush. But the stillness made the station, this construction of metal and concrete, into a brief period of solace that was much needed in the midst of all that was going on. Bless Central Station, so like itself as ever. There were the people, running to and fro, even at this time, even on a holiday. There was something comforting about knowing that the world carried on without me, and it would keep its usual pace even when I didn't. My world felt so different suddenly after what I had just heard. But knowing that the everyday and mundane would be waiting for me on my return made me hopeful that there would be a life after this. And the ticket machines were working properly and without a queue, which is always a blessing in itself. Bless the 8:32 train, and the ticket inspector on it, who, although she saw that I had the wrong ticket, was also able to see the confusion and distress, and decided to let it go this once. It was a small act of kindness, undoubtedly insignificant in the grand scheme of her day, but it meant the world to me in that moment. In my hurry, I had misunderstood some bit of bureaucracy about which tickets are assigned to which routes, and I had neither the patience or the state of mind to deal with it properly, if I'm being honest. Plus, the £14.50 I saved could be put to use for far more important things. So, I tried to smile as widely as I could when she let me go, in a bid to communicate all of that in a single gesture. bless Musselburgh Station when I finally alighted onto it. It looked the same as I remembered, though it had been quite some time by now. But I felt reassured that I was close, that my journey was almost at an end. Hearing the station name be announced, and then watching as it rolled into view, gave me the comfort of knowing that soon I would be where I needed to be. As I got off with a handful of others, I wondered if anyone else felt the same way. Bless the kindness of strangers. The woman who helped me carry my bag up the stairs when she could see I was struggling, and the man who helped me pick up my things when, in my flustered hurry, I managed to spill them all over the pavement, and the many, many people who gave me directions when, by rights, they could have told me just to look it up. Each and every one of them made a difficult time a little easier, in their own small way. And I was reminded that though life can be cruel and unforgiving, people, in my experience, are not, on the whole. I was reminded of the little acts that we do for each other every day, and how we don't even think about extending a hand of support. And it renewed my faith in light of the darkness. Bless the road, which eventually led to your door. The sight was enough to bowl me over, but instead I knocked and waited, and hoped for the best to be waiting for me when it finally opened. The journey was over, and as the road which had brought me here ended in your driveway, I thought about what would come next. Bless all of it. Every single part, everything mentioned, and which I have forgotten. I am thankful for every part of that day, despite it being a struggle for me, because each little aspect, which I could so easily have taken for granted, each individual piece, eventually brought me to you. And bless you. Because at that moment, you needed me more than you ever had. Thank you for listening to Under 1000. I'm your host, Thomas Flower. To follow the show online, look for Under 1000 Pod on Twitter or Facebook, or check out the website at under1000pod.com. If you'd like to support the show on Patreon, go to patreon.com/under1000pod, where you can sign up to read each month's stories in advance, as well as to have a thank you be read during these credits. The theme music is an instrumental version of In Between Days by Nick Tate and the Sharks. To hear the full song, and more from the same EP, go to Nick Tate, Nictate, and thesharks.bandcamp.com, or search for them on your favourite streaming platform. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and that you'll join me again next time for some more super short fiction.